Hello and welcome back to my travel journal. This is the second part of the Chettinad series. Come, let us enjoy and explore more mansions in Chettinad. The 110-year-old Chettinad Palace is an outstanding specimen of this Chettinad architecture. This mansion was built by Dr. Annamalai Chettiar. Raja Sir Annamalai Chettiar was an educationist and philanthropist of 19th century who built this mansion, co-founded Indian Bank, promoted Chettinad Group and established Annamalai University in Chidambaram. Known as Chettinad Arasar, that is King of Chettinad. Unfortunately, this famous Raja Palace is closed to the outsiders due to some family feud. We had to satisfy ourselves seeing this mansion from outside, the grand white palace with big towers and walls around.
Our next destination was the village of Athangudi to see the wondrous Lakshmi Vilas, the pride of the area, also known as Periyavida or Big House. The Periyavida is exceptionally beautiful and well maintained. Please see the ceiling of the lobby before getting inside the house. The designs of this on the ceiling is stunning, beautiful. The ornate windows with beautiful peacock tiles on both sides and mirrors embell open to the main hall. Wow, it was like looking through a kaleidoscope. Colorful surprises at every turn. This building is a confluence of several architecture styles. You can see the Spanish roof tiles, Italian stained glass windows, pillars with Burma teak and granite in the base. The fact is that the traditional architecture influence is seen in the wide courtyard and spacious room. Periyavida is a distinct architectural masterpiece, no doubt. Several artistic signatures integrate as one of the best things to experience in Chettinad. Chettiars always got the best stuff, teak, chandeliers, glass from different parts of the world. Every surface in this mansion gleams, from the Spanish tiles to the teak pillars and the stained glass and the murals painted above the pillars. I am sure that no photograph can capture the sheer opulence and artistry on the display.
Family weddings and other functions are celebrated in these courtyards even today.
The floor is paved with gorgeous Italian marble. Some of the doors are embedded with Belgian mirrors and tilework on the top. The central courtyard is stunning with its arches and ornamentation. This large mansion adorns some of the best architectural elements and features that is not found elsewhere. The mansion and the architecture features of Periyavida is a great subject to study for people interested in architecture.
The central courtyard is called Valavu with a series of rooms around it. The second quadrangle is having an open courtyard with a dining hall and women's quarters around the courtyard.
There is finally a pinketo or rare quadrangle which includes the kitchen, servants' quarters and cowshed.
This is the common dining hall with the light entering through the colored glass in a sunlit afternoon. Only 3 sections of the house are open to visitors. All the other rooms are locked up. The family members assemble here only for wedding or other festivals. We left the house imagining the grandeur of the house and its people during its prime period.
Thanks to Dr. Selvarajan, after visiting Periyavidu, we were taken to one of his friend's place, Mr. Ram Ramanathan, who has renovated his traditional house without touching the basic architecture, adapting to the modern times. He has documented this beautifully. In the year 1950, Mr. Ram Ramanathan is represented as the seventh generation in the family tree.
Ancestral history, as narrated by Mr. Ram Ramanathan, indicates that Mr. Second Chetty Kadan Chetty was the first person to come from Kaveri Pumpatnam to the current settlement 250 years ago in 1750. He constructed buildings in this area around 1784. This house was constructed by Mr. Karappan Chetty, grandson of Mr. Kadan Chetty, in 1850 and underwent renovation in 2010 by the current owner, Mr. Ram Ramanathan. He invited us to see more of the heritage inside his house.
The flooring is done by the locally sourced famous Athangudi tiles. Athangudi tiles are basically cement tiles which are handmade over glass. These tiles can be custom made into any geometric pattern, floral motif or freestyle designs as per your style need. Athangudi tiles gives a smooth finish as they are prepared on glass plate. Even they offer a non-slippery surface ideal for installing any part of your home. These tiles are very durable and also eco-friendly. This is a typical example of an age-old practice of vernacular craftsmanship endured and thrived in modern times. The Valavu or courtyard has rooms around basically to store valuables. For security reasons, the entrance to the doors to these rooms were made very small. There are two kinds of rooms. This is called Iratarai or double room, and the rooms on the other side called Ottarai or single rooms. The rooms are built with no windows as it was mainly used to store the valuables. Each room was allotted to one family member. Madam Chettiar, Archie, as she is called, demonstrated this peculiar lock system which we found in the other mansions also. After a tour around the house, Mr. Ram Ramanathan sat down to explain the history, which was very interesting. Chettiars are called Nattukotte Chettiars, also called as Nagarathas. As already mentioned, they migrated from Kaveri Pumpatnam due to a massive flood there. Ram Ramanathan's great-grandfather was one of them. This village, Athangudi, was originally called as Aramanai Petti. Aramanai means palace because this area was under the control of Maharaja of The land originally belonged to Pudukottai. Shivagangai Maharaj acquired it and named it as Aramanai Pette. He narrated an interesting historical story. During the 17th century, Shivagangai was ruled by the kingdom of Ramnad. When the king was shot dead in 1780, his widow Velunachiyar was ruling the region with the help of two brothers, the Marudu Pandyas, Periya Marudu and Chinna Marudu. They were the chieftains of Shivagangai who supported the queen. Periyamardu fell ill due to an infection in his back, and the physicians of the time had given up the hope. They somehow came to know about a Chettiar living in Kundrakude who had some divine power in healing. Periyamardu totally recovered under the treatment of Chettiar. They wanted to compensate him. When asked, Chettiar told him that he was having salt business and was running a Tanir Pandal to give water and buttermilk to public. Chettiar informed his desire to give Annadhanam. He was allotted 6 villages along with an ashram as a token of appreciation to the good work done. A declaration was prepared as copper inscription called Shippudu. Thus, the villages were handed over to this Chettiar. You can see the statues of Periyamaradu, Chinnamarudu, Kadan Chettiar all in the Kundrakudi temple. The name of this street was originally the Kadan Chettiar Street. Kundrakudi temple was constructed in 1794 by these Marudu brothers. The brothers rebelled against the British East India Company and were later captured and hanged in Tirupattur in 1802, the same time as Kattapomman was hanged. The land where Shivan Koil of Athankudi is standing now was donated by Mr. Ramanathan's grandfather. The tank of the temple is as big as temple, which is spread over 5 acres of land. And the story continues. With this, may I conclude this post on the matches of Chettinad, the popular aristocratic abodes of Karaikudi. Trust me, this is a journey that you will really love if you are a heritage buff. A special thanks to Dr. Shalvaraj Jayashilan for being a wonderful host and introducing us to Mr. Ram Ramanathan, who was ready to explain all the stories in details. With this, signing off.